everyone. It's me again with another installment of my musical reflections. And first of all, I want to thank all of you who reacted and commented on my previous post. In fact, it gave me some ideas about this post. Last time I talked about the importance of singing lines to really connect with what you're playing. So whether it's singing the melody or singing the bass. But what about people that would rather not sing, or that don't feel comfortable singing, or or sing off key? And I think, in my opinion, singing is still one of the most visceral ways you can connect with the music. So it's still one of my go-to ways of practicing. However, luckily there are always so many ways to achieve the same thing. And this is also what keeps practice fun and interesting if you practice in many alternate ways. So today I'm going to explore another way to connect with the melodies and the lines in your piece. I'm going to play a passage from Invocation et Danse, and I'm going to focus on the melody, but this time without singing anything. I'm going to play the melody and do the fingering for the whole piece, but only plucking the melody that I want to focus on. So on. Now this really helps you hear the melody and make sure that it sounds in a legato connected way. And also you can focus on it without being distracted by all this resonance of all these other notes that are going on at the same time. The other way that you can play the melody would be to use a different fingering, and this time choose a fingering that makes you get the best possible sound, the best expressivity, kind of play the melody in ideal conditions. And so on and so forth. Why do this? I think that this way you teach your ear how to hear the melody in its ideal form. And once you heard it sounding so beautifully and just the way you like it, then when you go back and you play all the notes, you'll have that much of a clear idea on how to make it sound. So your ear will be that much more demanding. This reminds me of the saying of the stronger your imagination, the less imaginary your results will be. So that will be, and then of course you go back to the fingering and you play everything, and you want to get the melody to sound. You will ask me, what about all the other notes? I mean, there's much more to this passage than just this melody. And you would be right. And of course, there is all this aspect of the harmony and how does it play together with the melody. But harmony is something that I want to really talk about more in another post. I will only say that in this case, what I really like to focus on is the notes that seem to fight with each other. In this case, for example, for the first chord, it's the F sharp and the F, and the A and the G sharp. So I would play slowly and really listen to how the notes kind of pull at each other within the chord, and also how do they connect with the next chord in the progression. but more about harmony in a different post. It's a whole other story. The final way I wanted to talk about how to connect with the lines in your music is paradoxically not playing at all. This is what I call interior music, and makes me smile because it's another paradox. A few months ago, I posted a video with me playing in complete darkness, so that's kind of a non-video, and now I'll have a post with non-audio. So, in fact, let's play a little game. I'm going to play the beginning of a piece, and I'll just say the letter B, and see if you can guess what I'm playing here, or not playing. Okay, this is the first part. I'm not going to play the whole piece. Why do this? And some of you will say, well, but this is very much like visualization. Why do I have to take the guitar? I can just imagine the movements and think about it while I sit in bed or travel on the bus or anywhere. Why bother taking the guitar in your hands? And the truth is, I really feel like it's a mnemonic aid. There's something about holding the guitar. It's like a focusing lens for your ear. In fact, I don't know if any of you played this experiment. If you open your guitar case, and regardless whether you do or you don't have perfect pitch, if you open the guitar case and you just pause and you try to imagine how does this guitar sound, the open string sound, there's a good chance that you will actually guess, because you've done this so many times. You've opened the guitar case, you've taken the guitar, and then you hear the sound. The same thing with this playing without playing. The left hand focuses my ability to really hear the sounds that I'm gonna play later. Well, I mean, to conclude, there's a funny thing that the way I learn music using Braille is weirdly very conducive to exactly this kind of interior listening, because obviously I cannot hear and play at the same time. This is my Braille display that's connected to my iPhone, and on my iPhone I have all the scores. And so, especially if the piece is more complex, I read and I play with my left hand the notes that I'm reading, which is kind of exactly what I was telling you guys, play without playing. So this is kind of what I often find myself saying, is that as a blind musician, I'm forced to do what would be advisable for any musician, in this case, this non-playing or this memorizing away from the guitar. So on this note or non-note, I will leave you and hope they enjoyed this reflections, and looking forward to hearing from you and to talking to you again soon.